Ukrainian forces have launched relentless attack operations in the Donetsk region, showcasing their determination to achieve their current objectives. Utilizing Western missile systems, Ukraine's military has inflicted significant losses on Russian troops. A recent precision strike targeted a Russian firing range near Donetsk, executed with the assistance of HIMARS missile systems. The strike took the Russian forces by surprise, with drones first identifying the exact positions of Russian personnel guarding their artillery stations. The aftermath of this attack has been devastating for the Kremlin, with reports stating that 50 Russian soldiers were killed, while several military vehicles were also severely damaged. Video footage and images published on various platforms like the Astra Telegram channel further demonstrate the catastrophic consequences of this operation. The strike marks a significant blow to Russian forces, already facing mounting casualties due to repeated Ukrainian missile attacks. This is not the first time HIMARS has proven instrumental in Ukraine's offensive strategies. Ukrainian officials have confirmed that since February, similar strikes on Russian training grounds and positions have resulted in the deaths of up to 100 Russian soldiers. One particular assault in February, near the Russian settlement of Trud, targeted the 3rd Separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade, killing between 60 and 65 Russian soldiers. These strikes highlight the precision and effectiveness of Ukrainian military operations, supported by reconnaissance drones and advanced Western missile systems. The ability to strike deep into Russian-held territory, like with HIMARS, is reshaping the battlefield dynamic and placing enormous pressure on Russian forces to reconfigure their tactics and defenses. Despite Russia's attempts to mitigate these impacts, including repositioning air units and fortifying key installations, Ukraine's new capabilities pose a serious threat to Russian military infrastructure. High-level meetings between the United States and the United Kingdom have fueled speculation about further Western support for Ukraine, particularly in the form of long-range missile systems like ATACMS and Storm Shadow. These discussions underscore the critical role that Western armament is playing in Ukraine's defense strategy and hint at potential escalations in the conflict. As the situation evolves, both sides continue to prepare for new confrontations. Russia's military faces increasing challenges, while Ukraine's forces remain vigilant and determined to capitalize on their newfound ability to strike Russian targets from greater distances. This ongoing struggle will likely shape the direction of the war in the months ahead, with the potential for significant shifts in control of key territories and military assets. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether this shift in firepower leads to a decisive advantage for Ukraine or further entrenches both sides in an extended conflict. With these developments, it is crucial to stay alert to the evolving battlefield dynamics as both Russian and Ukrainian forces strive to maintain or gain the upper hand. The situation remains fluid, and it is expected that further operations will take place as each side adapts to the changing nature of the war. Impact on Russian operations. Russia, for its part, is facing significant challenges as Ukrainian forces continue to apply pressure across multiple fronts. The repeated HIMARS strikes on Russian positions have forced Russia to reposition key assets, including air units, and to reinforce critical installations. Despite these efforts, Ukrainian strikes have continued to exact a heavy toll on Russian forces, disrupting their ability to launch effective counteroffensives. The dynamic of the conflict is further complicated by Russia's reliance on long-range attacks against Ukrainian positions, often using glide bombs and other advanced weaponry. However, Ukraine's new missile capabilities are beginning to blunt the effectiveness of these attacks by targeting Russian air bases and other key infrastructure, forcing Russian aircraft to operate from more distant locations. The Ukrainian military has also been successful in gathering intelligence on Russian operations, using drones to monitor Russian movements along the 30-kilometer front line. This intelligence has allowed Ukraine to strike with precision, targeting not only personnel and equipment but also the logistical backbone of the Russian military. Reports suggest that Ukrainian forces are systematically dismantling Russian positions, using the intelligence gathered from drones to guide missile strikes on key targets. The road ahead. As the war continues, both sides are preparing for what could be a prolonged and increasingly brutal conflict. For Ukraine, the challenge lies in maintaining the momentum of its counteroffensive, leveraging Western military support to continue striking Russian forces while minimizing its own casualties. For Russia, the focus is on adapting to Ukraine's newfound capabilities and finding ways to mitigate the damage caused by Ukrainian strikes on its positions. The coming weeks and months will be crucial in determining the future of the conflict. If Ukraine can continue to utilize advanced missile systems effectively, it may be able to further degrade Russian military capabilities and push Russian forces out of key areas. However, the risk of escalation remains high, particularly if Western nations decide to increase their military support to Ukraine by providing even more advanced weaponry. In the meantime, the situation on the ground remains fluid, with both sides experiencing heavy losses and continued fighting along multiple fronts. As the war approaches its 947th day, the conflict shows no signs of slowing down, and the battle for control of key regions like Donetsk and Kursk continues to intensify. For now, Ukraine's precision strikes are proving to be a game-changer in the war, but the long-term outcome remains uncertain as both sides prepare for the next phase of the conflict.